there's something of a situation when you are heavily unmotivated. And I'm going to be honest with you, we all get like this. You know what I mean? And for some of us, motivation just kind of comes out of the blue. It's like, yeah, we're really motivated, we can do this. But for others, especially if you're watching this video and you're trying to find some motivation, it's kind of draining, it's a bit downing, stuff like that. For me personally, when I'm doing any sort of projects with art, I'm one of those artists, and people don't like me when I do this, but I don't like to start working straight away. I like to kind of procrastinate a little bit, like for maybe about an hour or something like that, and then I'll start working on something. And I mean, it's acceptable when you're doing something that's freelance, that's fine, because you're kind of on your own time when you're doing it. But when you're working for a company, you can't really do that. So getting to this point of motivation when you're working for someone else versus when you're working for yourself or doing something for yourself is kind of a very different set of circumstances. On one hand, you must work for someone else and you have to do something straight away. On the other hand, your own motivation to get something done on your day off may or may not happen because you don't have that pressure behind you to perform. So what I would say is, if you need the inspiration or the motivation, indeed, for artwork or anything like that, I would say, for me personally, when I'm doing any of my CGI work, I'm on Pinterest. I'm looking through Pinterest. I'm seeing what other people are doing. I'm going on to either whatever is it called, Deviant or Deviant or whatever it is. Sometimes I get some ideas from there. I'm looking for a little bit of inspiration, and then that's the procrastination that I do. And then sometimes I'll look onto social media as well, because what it is with me filming on social media and making stuff for social media, I generally want to see what's currently trending, because if I can make something along the lines of it or akin to something that's trending, it's possibly going to get a little bit more popular on the algorithm. So that's something that I will constantly look out for. Now, if it's motivation at work that you're having an issue with, that's an interesting one, because obviously you've got the pressure to perform, and it might be a case of burnout. You know, I know a lot of people turn around and say, oh, burnout doesn't exist, but in my personal opinion, I believe it does. I believe that there is a point where your brain just kind of frazzles and you don't know what to do. And it's an interesting point. And the only time that I've really had that happen is when I was learning languages when I was a kid, and up into my early 20s, early 30s. Generally, what I would find is if I sit down for a good number of hours and I sit there and I learn German, or I'm learning my Russian or my Spanish or French or whatever it was at the time that, was on a curriculum, I would find that after a while, my brain would just kind of stop working. It's like I'd be looking at a page going, I know how to translate this, I know what I'm doing, but like my brain's just not engaged. And I think that is a huge thing that happens when you're just kind of almost overstimulated, or there's too much going on, or it's just too much repetition. And I think that breathing techniques do help in a way. It doesn't help with every situation, but they do help in a way. It's just like taking that breath and going, right, okay, what do I need to do now? And just try to figure things out. And some people, when they get stressed, they get all shouty and they get all pushy and stuff like that. To be honest with you, like, I've been described by a few people as being like a little bit too laid back in stressful situations, primarily because I don't see the point in running around shouting, getting your blood pressure up just because you can't have something that maybe you can't control. You know what I mean? I would rather sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to take a minute just to figure out what's going on and look at the situation and look at the details and go, right, okay, this is working, this isn't, and we can see that this isn't working because of past experience and because this has now become a pattern, or we can see that this one's actually working because we can see that over time that this has gained X amount of traction, So if you kind of look at a situation and you can look at past situations and see what's worked and what hasn't. It's better in the long run, I believe, than just jumping straight into something and just expecting something to work just because you did X thing to it. That's like me not setting up my lighting, not setting up my camera correctly. I know when I film in here, because of the lights that I have, it kind of affects the way that the camera focuses on objects. And I know that the last 2 videos that I filmed are slightly blurred because for some reason the camera just struggles with the lighting. I don't have a 4K camera. Maybe that would be a solution. Maybe I could get some more definition if I had a more up-to-date camera, but I don't have that. So I have to work with what I have, and that can be quite frustrating sometimes. That can be kind of like an unmotivating thing, because I think like, oh, I don't look good on camera and people can't see me or they can't hear me because the microphone broke or whatever like that, or disconnected halfway through the video. You know, and I think that, oh, that's really unmotivating. But today, I actually woke up and I wanted to work on this YouTube channel. I wanted to work on a motivational YouTube channel to help people. And so far, this is my 3rd video that I filmed. And I'm really nervous. And I can feel that I'm nervous. And I've been talking for maybe the last hour and a half to a camera, just trying to get that right shot and trying to get that right kind of filming kind of environment, so to speak. And you know, my dog's been walking around in the background and the microphone's picked up on him squeaking balls occasionally, you know what I mean? So it's like my motivation to get this done right now, it's kind of like I have to try, you know, because if I don't, maybe I won't get this done and I'll never know whether I could really achieve anything on this channel. I don't know what's going to happen with this channel in the end, to be honest with you. But, you know, I actually got the motivation today to go, right, okay, I've got to go and do this. So I think that motivation sometimes comes within us to kind of do something. It's like that drive that we have. And I mean, if there's no drive to really do anything, then we're not really going to do it to the best of our abilities. So I hope that helps you today. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.